Greetings and welcome to the Every.Black International Entrepreneur Mastermind. Before we begin, we'd like to go over just a little bit of housekeeping. We'd like to let you know that the meeting is being recorded and also streaming live on Facebook. Please raise your hand if you would like to be called upon. Otherwise, stay on mute unless you have a question or a comment. You can hold down the spacebar on your computer to temporarily unmute yourself. Please state your name and location before you speak so that we will know who and where you are calling from. We ask that you keep your comments brief and to the point. Our meeting agenda is as follows. At 7:50 p.m., we begin promptly with our early bird inspirational video. So if you weren't an early bird this week, please make sure you're an early bird next week. These inspirational videos are ones that you don't want to miss. Our inspirational video is followed by our welcome, followed by our Every.Black introductory video, the Every.Black mission, benefits of a mastermind group, book reading and discussion, Every.Black announcements, tech tips by our very own Jimmy Davies, a scripture reading by our lovely Olivia Robinson, followed by our guest speaker, introduction and presentation with questions and answers. Once our speaker is done, we have our breakout networking session. This is your time to network with one another and also to be able to more personally get to know our guest speaker. We come back to our main room and have our educational video with our closing remarks and prayer. At 9:31, we stay on the line and we have what we like to call our Every.Black Fellowship Hall, where we continue our conversations, engaging and networking with one another. We close with an inspirational video and our session ends promptly at 10 p.m. And now a word from our founder and CEO, Mr. Jimmy Davies.
I grew up in Flint, Michigan during the 60s. And as a child, I remember the civil rights movement. And I can remember our family huddling around our small black and white TV. And we were watching all of the things that were going on in Alabama and Mississippi. Some of my older cousins were active in the movement. And every Sunday we would have this large Sunday dinner with the extended family. And they would come back on Sundays and tell us about all of the things that they had seen and done. As a child of about 8 or 9 years old, I always wanted to grow up and be a part of that. But by the time I became of age, it was all over. All of the marching was done. I always felt left out that I didn't get a chance to participate in the civil rights movement. But little did I know that God had another plan for me. As a computer instructor and database developer, we as a people had to overcome slavery and secondly, obtain our civil rights to be able to eat at any restaurant or to stay at any hotel that we wanted. But the third piece is economic equality. I'm convinced that to achieve economic equality, it has to be through entrepreneurship, and we must use technology and a strategy of global networking. That's why I created Every.Black, to use my 35 years of experience as a computer instructor and database developer, to use technology to promote our members. We do it in a wide variety of ways. Of course, we list them on the website. We list our members in a directory that is downloadable from the website and through our podcast, and also through trade shows and other events such as mastermind meetings. We constantly promote our members on social media and through weekly newsletter email blasts. Our followers and recipients numbers in the tens of thousands. With podcast shows that air weekly, we reach people around the world, educating them about every aspect of becoming an entrepreneur. You can be interviewed on one of our podcasts or join Every.Black and have your own podcast. And now we provide ongoing computer classes to teach entrepreneurs how to use the software applications they need to increase efficiency and profits in their business. And last, we conduct weekly mastermind meetings where we read positive books and learn about entrepreneurship from experts while networking with like-minded individuals from around the world. We hear from entrepreneurs throughout the United States. We hear from entrepreneurs in the Caribbean on Every.Black Caribbean. We hear from entrepreneurs in Africa. on Every.Black Africa. Just go to www.every.black to register for our mastermind meetings, to take the computer classes you may need, and to join the Every.Black family. And that's what Every.Black is all about. And we make it very affordable for anyone to join, from a bronze, silver, gold, or platinum membership. So visit us at Every.Black. Sign up today. Just go to Every.Black, every.black, no .com, no .net, just Every.Black. .black is the new .com.
Remember, you heard it here first. .black is the new .com. Our mission here at Every.Black is to assist, educate, and inspire people to create wealth through entrepreneurship by leveraging technology and a strategy of global networking. Our mission is accomplished in the following ways. All of our members are listed in the Every.Black online directory. Members are marketed through our social media and email blast. We provide education about entrepreneurship through the Every.Black podcast network and an opportunity to learn more about entrepreneurship and network with other entrepreneurs on our weekly Every.Black Entrepreneur International Mastermind meetings, which you are attending right now. Here are just a few of the benefits of being part of Every.Black and our mastermind meetings. You discover solutions and ideas from brainstorming, tap into the experience and skills of others, increase your confidence in the decisions you make, be accountable for real progress in your business, obtain an instant and valuable network, innovate from new ideas, boost your everyday positive mental attitude, and develop a sense of family, because with Every.Black, you are never alone. A few of our objectives here at Every.Black is to read positive books about entrepreneurship and network with like-minded people. We are currently reading the book Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbrough and Napoleon Hill. I'll now turn you over to the hands of our reader.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Deborah Wright, and I am in Wake Forest, North Carolina. I am the CEO of Alignment Life Coaching. And you may remember that during our last few readings, we've been reading about Lee Dunham, who was a successful entrepreneur with the McDonald's Corporation. So we're going to continue to hear about Mr. Dunham tonight. What is his secret? A modest man, Dunham attributes much of his success to his employees and to the one key principle that he learned as a child. Every Tuesday evening at his company's New York headquarters and at his own expense, he unveils his secret in a management development course that he teaches to employees. Fill them with service, he says, with simplicity. All of us can serve. We can give faster service, cheaper service, and go the extra mile. Serving others is the reason for our business, not an intrusion on our business. Dunham pauses and further explains the secret that put him over the top. The underpinnings of prosperity have been studied and analyzed. Unequivocally, growth and profits are a byproduct of service. Everyone must be his own salesman of personal services. You must give your very best and commit yourself to excellence. You must give customers more than they expect. There is something infinitely better than making a living, and that's making a contribution. Dunham is adamant about making a contribution and serving his community. When asked to define success, he advises, you just can't take. You must give something back. I'm not in business just to make money. The greatest service that I can render is to motivate our youth. Through his success philosophy, Dunham has seen young men and women change the course of their lives for the better. Today, Lee Dunham is the owner-operator of 8 McDonald's franchises that employ 520 workers, mostly Black teams, and generate more than $14 million a year. Read and reread the above story. Give your best. Work at making your service better and give more than is expected with the right attitude. Do what you do so well that you're always guaranteed you're receiving a larger share of any available business. Human beings have wants and needs, and it is by meeting these wants and needs that we serve others. Albert Einstein embodied the idealism of service when he was asked, "Why are we here?" To which he replied, "We are here to serve others." Lee Dunham is correct. We all have the ability to serve, and if we don't serve, we don't reap a harvest. The extent of our sowing will determine the size of our harvest, our action and reaction. Millions have misunderstood this principle, thereby forcing themselves into a quandary. You've heard people say, "So-and-so worked hard every day of his life and has nothing to show for it." If this is true, this person has made some serious mistakes. In reality, he should be quite well-to-do by now. He was either in the wrong field or failed to seize the opportunities around him. We see millions who are starving in Africa, and the world responds by sending money and donations. The drought, the closed, inefficient governments, the lack of freedom and education all contribute to the inability of these people to serve. Because they are unable to serve, they receive nothing in return. Lee Dunham receives hundreds of letters each week from people asking for a portion of his wealth. Yet few of these poor, ignorant souls understand that Dunham's real wealth is not measured by the dollars in his bank account or by the franchisees that he owns, but by the reputation and satisfaction he has gained through rendering the best possible service. And we're going to stop there. We've been reading about Mr. Dunham for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And in these readings, he has actually emphasized the importance of service. What are your thoughts about the readings and about what he calls his success philosophy? No comments?
Hi, Deborah. Olivia from Cary, North Carolina. I'll kick us off tonight.
Hi.
Just the sheer fact of his success and the number of people that he has been able to hire is an indication of how powerful his philosophy is. And I'm sure that if we interviewed or spoke to any of the people working for him, it would be so clear that he's saying to them, this is what it's going to take for you to work here. I think that he had a certain standard. And I think because of that service attitude, he has been so successful and it's proved itself out. And of course, we realized that this book was written, several years ago. I'm sure he's gone on to open more restaurants and to help even greater a number of people. So thank you for the reading tonight. I just think he's a pretty phenomenal person. If I make my way to New York, I'm surely going to go to one of his McDonald's.
Thank you, Ms. Olivia. Thank you so much. Any other comments? Dr. Sheza, I'm sorry.
Sheza. Yeah. Thank you, Deborah. That was a really good reading. I'm really inspired by that attitude. Did not realize that early McDonald's franchise owners had that kind of attitude. But I do think that it does translate to just about anything else that we do. If we go into whatever we do with a mind or an attitude of service, then we're going to generate good relationships with people. We're going to increase our networks, as the topic of today's speaker is going to be about. And we're going to, when we engender those good sort of good feelings with people, people will come back to our service or to our business. And so we kind of create a ripple effect, and it kind of feeds or builds synergistically upon itself. And so I think that we can take that and move it into just about anything that we do. Business, you know, even if you're working for the government, you know, even if you are just, you know, walking down the street and you smile at somebody, that's a positive thing that starts to generate that kind of interaction that could then build into something meaningful. And I'm really thrilled to hear that was the attitude of early McDonald's folks.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your comments. And where are you from, or where are you calling in
Oh,
from?
sorry, I always forget. Yeah, I'm Chesa Garvin from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Thank you
Right
so
down the
much.
street from you.
Exactly. Thanks. Any other comments? Certainly there's some comments about
Mildred Henry. Hello, Oak Hills, California. I'm thoroughly enjoying the reading and learning about the thoughts and the background of the people involved that we've been studying. I have really been amazed at the number of African Americans or Black owners of McDonald's franchises. Where I am here, there are three, I think. This one man owns 3 McDonald's in our town. And it has been amazing. We to learn that our people are doing things that we don't know anything about, you know? And it's good to get this information out so that we are motivated by hearing of the good things that are happening, and service, the word service, you know, I hadn't thought about the type of service and the emphasis that's being put on service in order to be successful. So thank you for the readings. Thank you it's been inspirational and continues to be. And I thank you for learning about my people. I enjoy it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Henry. And it's so inspiring to also hear about the Black Americans who actually had to work at a time, or struggle or were challenged at a time that was probably much difficult than it is now, because he started his franchises in the 1970s. And so when he started his franchises and went to McDonald's, he was one of the first Blacks to own a franchise in the inner city. So that is very inspiring. Any other comments? No more
Sure.
comments?
This is Jimmy Davies in Durham, North Carolina. I was waiting to see if anyone else wanted to make any comments, but I've heard it said that if you aren't successful yet, it's because you haven't served enough people yet. You know, you haven't served enough yet. And so when you do network, whether it's online or in person, don't go into it with what you want to get out of it. Go into it with how can you help somebody, you know. How can you be of service to someone else, and it will come back around to you. So I just wanted to share those things.
Absolutely. Thank you for that comment. And we have time for one more comment, one more burning comment, something that resonated with someone tonight. Okay. Maxine?
This is Maxine Phillips from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Hi.
Servant leadership is servant leadership. No matter what time, no matter what era, no matter what year, it's servant leadership. I love what Jimmy said, that when you meet someone, is always that WIIFM, what's in it for me? It should not be that way. It should be, how can I serve you? What can I do to help you? And then take it from there, because what the universe has for us is for us. And just be open to it, but be ready to serve.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And that is a good comment to end on tonight. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. As usual, I appreciate each of you and the fact that you take the time to make a comment regarding the reading. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Deborah, again. Um, and I was just thinking today, I don't know how many years you've been leading us in the reading, but you're doing a great job. So, but thank you. So what we do now, we have some announcements we want to share with everyone. And first of all, we want to recognize a few of our members. One, we want to recognize Janelle Hicks. She's in the Seattle area. And it says her mission is to help people have the best skin they can. So she's in the skincare business with Jazzy Jewels Cosmetics. And so also we have a member, Latasha Bescatti, who actually is one of our oldest members. She and I did a podcast together for about a year. And her company is Infinity Bridges, extremely knowledgeable business consultant. If you want to know about starting your business or things to do, then please reach out to Latasha Bescatti in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. And every now and then I just share a list of the new Every.Black family members. And so I want to share the list today. Sharon Smith with Four Brothers Transportation, LLC. And then Maggie Burgesser. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. She's one of our new members. And Elizabeth McNeil, and then Shirley Brown, and Dr. Shaza Garvin, who you just heard. So those are our newest Every.Black members. So we just want to say welcome to the Every.Black family. And what I do again is share announcements. So this week I just thought I'd just remind everyone that Deborah has her own company, Alignment Life Coaching. She leads us in our reading, but she also has her own business. So reach out to her if you like some coaching, life coaching. And also Maxine Phillips, who we just heard as well, interviewed our adopted entrepreneur Antonio and his mother Lori. And I think that aired actually earlier today, an hour ago today. So it's on her Facebook. If you missed it, you can go to facebook.com/levellessco. And also got this from Dr. Cheva. The Miles of Great Hopes Gala is coming up October 21st. And it helps a nonprofit. They provide a lot of great services for people in Kenya and beyond. And she's on the call. So if you want more information, please reach out to her later on when you're able to network. And that's Dr. Cheza Garvin with Miles of Great Hope Gala. And then also I want to mention the Happy Neighborhood Project. If you really want to do some networking, go to the Happy Neighborhood Project. And every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, they actually have Black entrepreneurs networking, but you can go any day of the week. And there's networking going on all the time at happyneighborhoodproject.com. Got a few videos to share with you. That's by Michelle Nicole Taylor. And so she's on the call also tonight if you want to find out more about her book about My Magic Tummy Friends about health. And another short from another Every.Black member, Wayne Hines, to share with you.
Be forever at butterflyforever.net, your virtual memorial platform. Remember, connect, share, join for free. Register now to cherish and honor your loved one's memory. Connect. Join live forums and groups to connect with others who've experienced loss. Share memories. Preserve and share cherished memories with friends, family, and kindred spirits. Here is how it works. 1. Choose a membership. Register and select your plan. 2. Become a memory keeper. Build your profile. 3. Create memorials. Build memorial pages and share memories. Then you can celebrate life always. Invite others to contribute and make announcements. Give virtual gifts and pin meaningful memories. Honor special occasions and share the virtual memory bank. Connect and share on forums and in groups. Stay updated with the latest news. Express sympathy with elegance at the Be Forever web store. Register today and join our community to share life's precious memories. Butterflyforever.net. Celebrations of life.
And so Wayne Hines has launched his new website, beforever.net, and that's so you can honor people that have passed on, but to honor their lives or celebrate their lives. And also, we're going to be planning a trip to the Caribbean, St. Lucia, February 9th through the 16th. And if you're interested in going, please reach out to Charles at Jocko Travel. His number is there at the bottom, 919-491-1908. And also just a reminder that the Save 25 Logan Circle campaign is going on, and you can reach out to Mr. Lafayette Jones or just go to www.save25logancircle.com. Any contributions you make goes toward helping the National Beauty Culturist League. And of course, we want you to visit our website at Every.Black. And once you join Every.Black, you're actually listed. So I tell all of our members, be sure to list your information on the website. So when people come there, they'll be able to find you and see what you do. So it's just another way to get the word out about your company, your product, or your service. And some of the things that we're doing now, we've got a podcasting class, actually an overview this Wednesday. If you just want to find out how podcasting works, it's about a 1.5 hour session this Wednesday. But then if you want to actually learn how to podcast, how to edit, create the podcast, upload it, and everything involved with it, then that session starts this Friday or this Saturday, excuse me, and it'll be going on for 3 weeks. So we got podcasting overview and podcasting class. And you can reach any of the classes by going to computerclasses.black to sign up for the classes. And then also we've got a financial literacy summit. And I'm going to give Cheyenne Kramer just a couple of minutes to tell about this, but also she'll be available at 9:30 when we close out. Cheyenne, are you available to just tell people about the Financial Literacy Summit?
There we go. Yes, I am. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it so much. And I'm so appreciative of the opportunity that we have had to be able to bring We Care Partnerships Network together with the Every.Black family to be able to put this summit together. And I was thrilled. I didn't know that our We Care member, Maggie Bergesser, had joined Every.Black. So it's actually quite wonderful that we've got a wonderful mix of presenters from both organizations, and some have joined both organizations. So that's the kind of collaboration that gets me excited. But if it's called Fear, Faith, and Finance, Overcoming Fear to Gain God's Favor. And I don't know about you guys, but boy, I've known business owners who have hit a brick wall in terms of their income production. I've also met individuals who have been unemployed for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. And with the people I've worked with in the past, I find out that a lot of times what's caused them to hit the brick wall is the fact that God is calling them to a new direction, a new path. And sometimes it's just adding something to your business. Sometimes it's a total career redirect. And so that's what we're doing with this summit, is we're coming together and saying, look, let's co-create our financial future with our creator. And there's all different ways we can do that. So, it's a 2-day summit. We'll be going from 4 to 8 on Friday the 18th. And then from noon to 4, actually 5 to 8, and then noon to 4 on Saturday, the 19th. And you can see, there's all kinds of information on the Every.Black page here that you can check out. But we're going to be doing an introduction to financial grace. We're going to talk about overcoming financial fears. Going to talk about rising up and rocking to have success in your world. We're going to talk a lot about side hustles and how they can help you to weather the storms of the economy, and how can you use side hustles to fund your God-given purpose. So all of those things are part of what we will be doing on the 18th and 19th. And if you just go to fearfaithfinance.eventbrite.com, you'll find all of the information there for sign up. We do have 2 different levels of tickets. So we've got our $25 ticket, which gives you access to the live event. We have a $50 ticket if you want the recordings, if you want bonus gifts. We've got digital ebooks that are being given away. We've got strategy sessions being given away, all kinds of coaching sessions being given away. So that's for our VIP ticket. So please, I'll hang around for sure and love to talk to anybody who has questions about it. But we hope to see you at the Fear, Faith, and Finance Summit, because you're the miracle we're waiting for.
Yeah, we've got a number. Thank you, Cheyenne. And we've got a number of things going on. I want to say Cheyenne and Don have been members of Every.Black since the beginning. So I just want to thank you too for your continued support. But they'll be on at 9:30 when we close out. And if anyone else has any other things going on, like the gala for Miles of Great Hopes or anything else, then please let everyone know at that time for further discussion. A few more announcements. We want to bring on our speaker. Is that every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, I come on the same Zoom ID, same link, to answer questions about joining Every.Black. So if you have any questions or you want to find out more, then just come on the same ID, same Zoom ID. If you can't make it a Friday at 12 noon, any Friday at 12 noon, let me know, and I'll make arrangements to meet with you. And I'm going to do kind of a rehash of a tech tip I shared last week, because I mentioned podcasting earlier, classes coming up. So I just wanted to, because someone asked me about this anyway, is that repurpose.io. What that does, it lets you take one podcast or one episode and automatically or simultaneously share it on multiple platforms. So it just helps you really spread the word about whatever it is you're doing. So that's the tech tip of the week. Just check out repurpose.io. And I think, let's see here. Yeah, we're going to share scripture, and then we'll bring on our speaker.
I bring you greetings out of Cary, North Carolina, from Ideal Choice Senior Concierge. Our passage of scripture today is found in Philippians 3, verse 7, and I am reading from the Amplified Bible. But whatever former things were gains to me, as I thought then, these things, once regarded as advancements in merit, I have come to consider as loss, absolutely worthless, for the sake of Christ and the purpose which he has given my life.
Now, our speaker has a short video as well, so we're going to play that and then we're going to introduce him.
Growing a business means taking every necessary step to improving awareness. However, improving your brand's awareness can be quite difficult, and that's where Pro Web Firm comes in. By harnessing our dexterity and services, including custom web design, logo design, web hosting, domain registration, e-commerce solution, web marketing, privacy and protection, search engine optimization, and even WordPress hosting, we can help you push beyond the limit of your reach. We understand your desire to boost revenue. However, having just a website isn't enough. Let Pro Web Firm represent your vision through web and graphic solutions that will scale your business. Visit www.prowebfirm.net or call 770-954-9141.
Greetings, members of my Every.Black family and guests. I am Michelle Nicole Taylor, artist, children's book author and illustrator, and an interviewer for the Dr. Joe L. Dudley Senior Legacy Project. And I will be introducing our speaker for this evening. Our topic is Your Network is Your Net Worth, and will be presented by Mr. Marc Hamm, the owner of Pro Web Firm, a web design company. Mr. Hamm and his team are responsible for the design, sales, customer service, marketing, and social media for his firm's clients. He currently manages 4 divisions of Procurement Websites LLC: web design, graphics, marketing, and search engine optimization. Mr. Hamm studied English communications at Bloomfield College and Rutgers University and received his Bachelor of Arts in Communications from Uppsala College. Originally, he worked at Citibank on Wall Street as a web developer and graphics designer, as well as in their Midtown New York office as lead graphics designer. He founded United in Service, a company geared toward assisting nonprofit organizations in need of web design and technology. This evening, he will be sharing his entrepreneurial journey and his growth through networking. Mr. Marc Hamm, owner of Pro Web Firm, Every.Black welcomes you.
Well, thank you and good evening, everyone. And this is just such an honor to be here and just hang out with the Every.Black family. I love being here. Well, I'm going to jump right into it. My name is Marc Hamm, and I'm from New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey, but my family roots are from, you guessed it, North Carolina, which is why I love coming to Every.Black, because it's based in North Carolina. In order to get you guys to understand the title of this evening, which is Your Network is Your Net Worth. In order to get you to understand that, I got to tell you a little story. My father is retired. He lives in North Carolina now, but he retired as a shoe repairman. And my father was in business 31 years in East Orange, New Jersey. And I'm just going to paint you a little picture. Every day, my father used to get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, stumble through there, get his clothes, get dressed, and be at the table. My mom's fixing some breakfast, and he'll get his breakfast. And my mom would make us breakfast, except it's so early, we didn't want to eat it. So she'd pack it in aluminum foil or saran wrap or whatever, and, make us some sandwiches and send us breakfast and lunch. And we'd go on to the shop, and we get there right at 6 o'clock or before 6 o'clock every day. And I used to scratch my head like, Pops, man, it's black outside. You can't even barely see. And we go into the shop, and he would open that shop every day and lift that gate up and go in there and turn the lights on, turn the music on. And just like clockwork, people would come in early on their way to work. And I didn't know at the time because I was a kid, but he was establishing a reputable business. He never took a sick day in 31 years. I know it's unbelievable, but he was there every day. Now, I didn't say he didn't go home early or he wasn't sick, but he went to work every day. And over time, it taught me different values and morals, and it taught me respect. It taught me to be reliable. And so every day I'm at the shop, you're sweeping, you're grabbing coffee, I'm running errands. And it taught me one main thing that I didn't know, and that is my father was building a network. He knew lawyers, cops, thieves, some of everybody would come in to get their shoes fixed. And he would treat everyone with respect. He would joke around with them. He might call them some fun names, maybe because he didn't remember their name. Hey, Jimbo, hey, Ralphie, and he would just joke around with them. And the people respected him so much, they would come in and treat us great, myself and my brother. They would buy us coffee or a buttered roll or donuts, or they would give us all kinds of things, bread and clothes, some of everything. And I just remember, my father had a humble business. Like he He didn't make a lot of money, but he made enough to help keep the lights on. But he was resourceful. Where my father didn't make money, he took his hands and his network, and they would build things. They rebuilt the house that I lived in. And he did all this from a shoe repairman's budget. And anyway, I'm going to fast forward to now. You know, I'm that kid who learned values and morals in that shoe repair shop, but I applied them coming out of working on Wall Street. And I worked for Wall Street, on Wall Street for Citibank, and 9/11 happened. And 9/11 took the taste out of my mouth for working in New York, living in New York, having that New York lifestyle. I didn't want it anymore. And so I had aspirations of starting my own business. Why? Because I grew up in the family business. My brother even started his own business. My brother's in business 35 years to this day. And so I got to see my father and my brother and other family members run a business. So in the back of my head was start your own business. And so I was tired of New York, tired of working for someone else, just sick of it. And so 9/11 happens, and as depressing as that was for us all, there was a bright spot. There was a light at the end of the tunnel. And I started to see different things because of it. And so I got laid off. And, you know, a lot of people were upset and sad. I was actually very happy. They gave me a severance check and sent me on my way. And I was grateful. And so my son and I, we moved here to Atlanta, Georgia, 19 years ago. And got him going, got him started, got him moving into school, and he made the football team. He had a girlfriend. I mean, he's just doing the thing. Me, 6 months went by and I wasn't quite adjusted. So we were in search of a church home. And so I looked for a church. We went to all these different churches and visited and just couldn't find one. So I called the church and I called a nonprofit organization. The church never called me back for whatever reason, but the nonprofit did. Nonprofit by the name of Feed My People out of Stockbridge, Georgia. And I went to Feed My People just to pass the time, to get my head together, to help somebody else instead of myself. And so I go to Feed My People and I'm there stacking vegetables on the shelf and whatnot. And the director comes up to me and says, "Hey, Mark, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to be?" And I said, "Well, I want to build websites and fix computers." And she told me, "Take those cans right there and put them down. Come on here with me in the back. Come on in the back room." And so we go in the back room and she shows me all these computers stacked to the ceilings. It was probably 150 to 200 computers. And she said, "I want you to take 3 of these computers and fix them, put them in our thrift store. We're going to sell them. You take the rest of these computers and you start your business." And before I could shed a tear out of gratitude, she says, "We're not going to stop there. I'm going to introduce you to a man named David Allman. David Allman is starting a business building websites and fixing computers for nonprofit organizations. And it's called United in Service." And so I was like, wow, this is just crazy. And so she gave me his number and 10 days went by. I never called him. And so I'm in there and Feed My People stacking vegetables again. And she says, "Did you call David?" And I said, "No." She said, "Come on here." She took me, we got in the car and we went to a meeting. And at that meeting, David Allman was there and it was a bunch of different people and everybody was shaking hands. And she introduced me to him face to face. And we shook hands and he told me, "I'm starting this business and I need somebody to help do graphics and build websites. And we're going to fix computers as well. You in?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm in." He said, "Now I can't pay you for a couple of months because we got to get going." And I said, "I'm okay with that. I just want to get started back in my craft, doing what I do best." And so I worked for David, and David would book the meeting, get the contract signed, and get the check. And when we get out in the parking lot, he would tell me, here's a check to work on this website. Don't cash it yet. Let me get to the bank and deposit this one that they gave me, and then we're good to go. And so it was an 80-20 split. He paid me 80% and he took 20%. And I used to scratch my head like, how is he making any money if he's paying me 80%? But it was what it was. And there were just a couple things I did not know how to do. I did not know how to connect a domain name to a website, to a server. I didn't know how to write up the contract. And I didn't know all about registering your business with the state. And so I worked for David in October. By November, December, we were partners. And I told him, sometime next year, I'm going to start my own business. I just want to be transparent with you. So February 2nd, 2005, I started Pro Web Firm. And it grew pretty quickly. And David started working for me. And at some point, I just bought David out and he retired. And I just took over. Well, I didn't do all of this myself. When I started Pro Web Firm in February, I didn't have any clients. So I did what I knew best. I got out and networked. And I mean, I networked like 5 or 6 times a day. I would go to the early morning chamber meeting, the early after breakfast meeting, the lunch meeting, the after work. You know, I went to all of them and I would rotate to different places to network. And after a year of networking, I told my son, you take care of the house, I'm gonna get this business going. And that's exactly what I did. I focused on relationships and talking to people and shaking hands. And, you know, times were so rough back then. I used to print my own business cards in the printer and be in the parking lot ripping them, you know, those perforated business cards. And I would just hand them out. It was all I had. So I had to do what I could do. But I started building good relationships and people would take a chance on me and tell me, go ahead, I want you to build my site. And I networked so much until I could not go anymore. I started getting clients. I started getting busy. I started working more. People knew who I was. I would walk into a room and they go, hey, there's Mark. Hey, I want to introduce you. And so short version is I started really connecting with people. And I said, you know what? I'm going to introduce, say, Maxine Phillips to Dr. Chezzy. And I can never get them on the phone together. So what I did was we lived in an apartment. So we had a clubhouse. I threw a party at the clubhouse. And I had a caterer come and make fried chicken, collard greens, mac and cheese. We had desserts, music, and it was really nice scenery by the pool. And I just threw a good shindig. And people came out. And when those 2 people came in that I wanted to introduce, I walked right over and I said, hey, Maxine, meet Dr. Chezzy. Here you go. Y'all got a lot in common. Y'all should talk. And it worked. They clicked, started doing business together. And I'm talking about 2 other people, but I'm using these 2 as an example. They started working together over a year until my next event. And they would come back to the next event and thank me. And over that year, they would send me work. They would send me clients. They were so thankful. And the way they showed their gratitude was giving back to me, which is not my intention. I wanted to help them. And so I learned very quickly that you got to have a network of people to introduce people to. Everybody can have their hand out and ask for something, but very few people can say, what's your problem? What do you need help with? And fill that void. And that's exactly what I've been doing for 18 years. Hey, we weren't the best web design company in the world when we started. But the main thing that we had was great customer service and a network. And so the network grew my business quicker than you could ever imagine. And so when I would go to those same networking events that I used to go to, people would say, you didn't just start your business, did you? And I would go, yeah, I did. I just started. And they wouldn't believe it. But I did something that most people were too lazy to do, which is get up off your butt and go help somebody. And that's what I was taught in that shoe shop in East Orange, New Jersey, is sometimes my father would say, come on. And we jump in the car and we ride across town to go help somebody push a car or build something in the back or whatever, put up paneling. We always went to help someone the same way people came in the shop and helped my father. My father had machinery that he needed to move in there for the shoe repair. A ton of people would come help him move it or help him buy it or help him get a loan or whatever he needed. There was always someone there. The blessing was a person or multiple people. And so, not that I knew that that was the formula, but it was just embedded in me. And so I learned very early, help people first, ask later. Put yourself second or third. Just be there to help someone else. And that's what I do to this very day. I network like you wouldn't believe. When COVID got started, I would network 18 times a week. I would go to that many different events. I would go to chamber events, HNP events, and I'll talk about HNP later on. I check out Every.Black. I was a speaker. I was a networker. I was everywhere. And why? Because sometimes you just need to be exposed to people and find out how you can help. And the only way you're going to help somebody is to get in their face. And obviously COVID, we couldn't be in front of someone in person, but I could be that person virtually. And so COVID actually catapulted my business far greater than I could have ever imagined, because I was able to reach CEOs and people, presidents of companies, because they were online, where normally you'd have to go to a golf course or some big shindig to shake hands with them. And they were right here on Zoom. And so long story short, I'm just a humble guy, computer whiz from Orange, New Jersey, who has great morals and values that I still implement into business. And although, yes, we have to make a living in business to keep the lights on, I don't do it for the money. I never have. And that's probably why I'm still in business. I don't wake up and say, hey, I need to make X number of dollars today. I go with the attitude of, who am I going to help today? I'm honored when I build someone a website and I take their dream and bring it to fruition. To see that nonprofit organization or any organization that has a dream of a business, and I'm able to put it on the web and animate it and do all sorts of things with the logo and business cards and flyers, and to see the look on their face when their dream is a reality, that is where I'm fulfilled. And so I'm in business to be fulfilled, not to make a dollar. I'm going to pause a second to make sure I didn't forget anything. But I'm Marc Hamm with Pro Web Firm, and just give me 2 seconds. I did forget one thing. I'm very grateful, very humble, God-fearing, married, father, grandfather, and I believe that your network is your net worth. You can look at someone and see if their network is together, their pocket is full. But you see people who don't have a good network, they always worried about money. So my message to you today is, don't go out here to sell your products or services. Go out here to find someone that might refer business to you. You need to find someone who is more of a referral partner than a client. A client might be one and done. A referral partner may go on for years and years and years. They might send you 20, 50, 100 clients. And to me, Every.Black is that referral partner. So if I were you, I'd dig in deep with a referral partner like Every.Black. And I just want to thank Jimmy Davies and the crew, Miss Deborah, and all the other staff with Every.Black. I thank you for allowing me to be here and to present. Mr. Jimmy Davies.
Wow. Wow. That was great. That was fantastic. And Marc Hamm, I'd like to introduce you to Maxine Phillips, because Maxine does interviews of people, and she interviewed me a month ago. And from that, someone actually saw the interview and joined Every.Black. So you need to be on Maxine's podcast. If you can arrange that, that'd be great. So yeah, I can certainly relate to everything you shared. And I think that's a wonderful attitude that you have. So I'm just going to open the floor up. Does anyone have any comments or questions? Or I can't believe somebody that's got to move somebody, certainly.
Jimmy, this is Maxine from Raleigh, North Carolina. Listen, I just gave him a fist bump. I don't know if he saw me give him a fist bump or not.
I did.
I mean, that was powerful. That was on point, because everything you said is exactly what we need to do as entrepreneurs. It's not about what's in it for me. I always say that. It's what can I do to help you? Because if we go with that type of heart, that servant heart, the universe will reciprocate. So everything that you've done is proven. And it just didn't start in 2023. It has been that way since the world existed, if we would only just follow through. So I applaud you for doing what you're doing. And
Thank you.
yes, by all means, let's talk about you being on the podcast.
I love it. Let's do it, Miss Maxine.
And I see Tyler Joy, you have your hand raised, Tyler.
Hello.
Hi, Tyler.
I just wanted to say I second everything that you all were saying. And similar to what Maxine was just saying, like, it is with the heart posture and the intent of giving, and then God will definitely provide everything in return. So when you have a heart of not really getting anything in return, He will naturally provide for His children. And then also just using your gifts and talents to better the community is our service. And just using our gifts to actually better everybody else and help everybody else is actually beneficial when you are doing business. And then naturally it just, happens full circle. So I just wanted to say, yes, I thank you for your.
We lost Tyler there. We heard most of Tyler, but we lost her at the very end. Dr. Chesa.
Hey, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Hamm, for that presentation. I'm very inspired by your attitude and your approach. Couple of things come to my mind. One is, it was obvious before you even talked about it that there's a spiritual component to your attitude and to your approach to networking and being of service to people. And so I just want to applaud you for that. I think that before I retired a couple of years ago, I worked as a psychotherapist, and I had a mental health and a public health background for years and years. And in large part, I realized that people were suffering largely because they did not have a spiritual base for how they were approaching their lives. And so trying to work with people around that and help them deal with their mental health issues was very challenging at times. So I want to just applaud you for that. I do have a question for you. Sure. What about children, young people who are governed by TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and you name it, whose network is based in those sort of social media environments, but it's not a real hands-on kind of network, the kind right. You're talking about, where you literally show up, or you're interacting more, or even Every.Black, which is like a family. So I'm wondering, what advice would you have for young people who've come up in the TikTok era and they think these people are their friends, but they're not? Yep. Any advice for them?
Yep, that is a great question. And it's two sides to being involved in the social media. You can use it in one way as a social media influencer. There are quite a few of them that have inspired me. They have YouTube and TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, so on and so forth. And some of these kids at 16, 17 are millionaires from making influencing videos or YouTube channel, and they're cranking out 40, 50,000 a month. And it's crazy to even think about. I started doing the research, and I had to start my own YouTube page because of these kids. They taught me something. Then there's the other side, and this side is kind of dark. These kids see things on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and so on and so forth, and they go and do these challenges because they see these other people doing it. I just got to tell you, I've never in my life been a follower. Never. And I think this social media has these kids following, doing things that other kids do because they don't have their own mind. They're not strong-minded. And they could be, but it's not the norm to go away from the grain. A lot of people want to go with the grain. And I just got to tell these kids, be your own person, find out who you are and do your own thing. And if it's not popular, so what? And if people want to kid you or mess with you or talk about you, that should teach you right there, they're not really your friends. A social media presence is okay to have, but use it to your advantage or do your own thing. You will get so much further in life by doing your own thing and not following behind somebody else. Because when you do what somebody else does, that's not your blessing. The man upstairs has a path for everyone. And your path is not somebody else's path. My path is not Jimmy Davies' path. We reach to our own goals based on our own merits, our own mistakes, our own everything. And the quicker you learn when you do your own thing, you'll get to where you got to go faster. By falling behind somebody else, it's going to take you the long road around, and you still got to come back around and learn what it is you're supposed to. So kids, do your own thing. Don't worry about somebody else. That would be my message to these kids on social media.
Okay. And I'm just going to add too, I think that's why it's so important. Everyone on this call, it is so important. What you're doing is so important because whether you realize it or not, you know, if you have children or people in your family or your neighborhood are watching you. You know, Mark had the opportunity to have a father that set a great example, but you know, whether you have that kind of a parent or not, you have the opportunity to be that role model to someone else. So that's why it's so important for not only for developing businesses, for those that are watching you to say that, hey, if you do it, it gives them inspiration and let them know they can do it too. It puts that in their mindset. So I just had to share that. And the last thing I want to share is that they say the average person knows 250 people. So if you network with one person, you've expanded your network by 250 people. Think about that. We have some other hands raised, Wayne and then Laju. Wayne?
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Good. How's it going, sir, Wayne?
Doing great. Listen, it's so encouraging to hear your sharing, your heartfelt sharing. And I can hear you wearing it on your heart on your sleeve, and that's you know, an indication of the kind of person you are, but you know, in work and out of work. So that's awesome. You know, as you share, you know, I can relate in a number of ways, and you know, just the authenticism, that's really terrific. And I just want to just touch base on the point you made specifically about networking. I'm a huge believer of that, and you know, it's not about what you get out of it, but it's amazing what side effects comes out of it or byproducts come out of it. And I'll just share a quick story, just real quick story that happened to me recently. So I've been in a networking, not even a networking, just connecting with relationships and building relationships here in Canada for businesses and Black businesses coming together. And it's the purpose of just serving each other. And as a byproduct of that, one of the key individuals would just develop a great friendship. And I was asked recently to go to a trip in Windsor, which is just outside Detroit. And, you know, I hawed and hummed, and he said, no, we're going, it's a networking. And, you know, he knows me, and he said, no, it's a networking event, we're going. You know, it's like, okay, I'll come along for the ride. He says, no, we're going there, and we're actually going to meet the ambassador of Tanzania. And I said, well, yeah, you know, that's your network, and, you know, that's fine. And went along, we dressed up and we went for the event. And it was a 5-day event, but I went for 1 day. Or sorry, we went together for 1 day. From Toronto to there, it's about a 3-4 hour drive. So it was just in and out. And we got there and they were anticipating our arrival. They not only were anticipating our arrival, they whisked us up to the front of the room to the where the ambassador was sitting and introduced us, and the rest is history. I got a chance to meet the ambassador from Tanzania. Got a copy of my book in his hand. I got the chance to talk about business, and there he came to talk about agriculture here, and so many great things happen out of that, simply because of that, not expecting anything, but really just going to support and network. And so that's a testimony, a personal testimony, but I really commend you in this message here, especially in the time and season we're in. The world is so much bigger because of the technology and the internet. So thanks again for sharing that.
Good stuff. Thank you, Sir Wayne.
And Lashu, I saw Lashu's hand, but I don't see her now. Is she still on the call? Lashu? Well, we're going to go to Roy and then maybe come back to Lashu, but then after that, we're going to go to breakout rooms. Roy Hudson.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I just want to say happy to be here tonight. I see Mark was going to be presenting, and I had to jump on it. I know Mark for a while. I know he and I haven't seen each other in a while, but I did see his name, and definitely wanted to get on and hear what he had to say. Mark always has some great words, and just happy to be here. Just want to say hello, brother, and just want to say hi to everyone. But Mark, good to see you, man, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Good to see you, Sir Roy, man. Good seeing you. Thank you for stopping through, man. And we got to catch up.
Definitely.
Roy's been working hard. I've been working hard, and we didn't even see each other that much. But
we're like 5 miles away from each other.
I know. Thanks for the support, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Great. And thanks for coming to our meeting now, Roy. Anyone else? Lashu, are you ready to open your mic now? Or did you have a comment to make, or anyone else? Last call. No? Okay.
You got Inga.
Okay, Inga, go ahead, Inga.
Well, Mark, I just wanted to say I thought you did an excellent job tonight. Thank you for sharing your wealth of wisdom and experience in building businesses. I know we've talked about this many a times, the importance of making sure that you serve people first, and have that servant mindset and mentality. And I really appreciate what you shared with us today. Thanks.
Thank you, Miss Inga. Appreciate you hanging out.
Okay. Like I say, we're going to go to breakout rooms. I can help but think.
Hold on. Lashu put her comment in the chat.
Okay.
I think she's been having some problems.
Okay, can you read it?
So I'll read it. Yeah. Don't you think, though, that it is inherent in the wording of social media to call people followers? Wasn't that its own setup? If Silicon Valley had set it up where we were called engagers, it would have probably wired us differently for how we approach social media. People do want followers. That's her comment.
That's an interesting comment.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Lashu. I don't know if you want to make a comment on that, Mark, or anyone else.
Yes, I'd love to comment on that. Yeah, it's all about perception. It's all about marketing. It's all about how it's presented to people. I wish it had been engagers. I wish it had been empowerment. I wish it'd be so many things, and it can be to those of us who take an extra minute to use it for what it could be, as opposed to what it was originally made for. Following somebody takes a mindset, takes energy, but being a leader and being engaging is on purpose. And so I think we need to do a lot more things on purpose or for purpose.
And I was just thinking too, even this meeting that we're on tonight, if talking about networking, if I hadn't gone to that networking event at Mr. Dudley's house, I got an email inviting me to a networking event, and I didn't know Mr. Dudley. I didn't know anything about it, but I went, and here we are several years later doing what he was doing on that evening. So what we do each week, I really want to thank you, Mark. That was fantastic. I want to say also, Mark sends people to Every.Black all the time. You know, he networks me with people all the time, and I already told him that we're working on a project that if we get it, he's gonna be our web developer. So I'm just waiting to hear whether or not we can expand and do that.
And Sir Jimmy, let me just tell this one story while we got everybody here. When I first jumped on Every.Black, it was on the phone, that 800 free conference call. And I loved the format and everything. But I told Sir Jimmy, I said, hey, why don't you come over to HMP and see how we do it on Zoom? And I didn't think he'd come, you know, but he did. He jumped on and went in the breakout room, and I introduced him to a few people. And he loved it so much. Y'all are now on Zoom, and look at how you've grown since then. So shout out to you, Jimmy Davies, for not being scared of technology.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've never been scared of this stuff. I love it. So, but what we're gonna do is go into breakout rooms now. And one last call too. If you haven't been on Happy Neighborhood Project, you gotta go. You gotta check them out. Talk about networking. They do networking on steroids. So check out Happy Neighborhood Project. But we go to breakout rooms because a lot of people on the call. We want to give you the opportunity to interact with someone else on the call. See how you can help someone else on the call tonight. That's your challenge. How can you help someone on your breakout room tonight? And so if you need help, click on the join button, and we're going to move Mark around as much as we can. If we can get into the different rooms, then we're going to bring everyone back around 9:30, just before 9:30 to close out. But we always leave the line open after 9:30, because I know Shan wants to talk more about the finance summit coming up. Dr. Chase wants to talk about the gala coming up, and anyone else that has anything else to share. So we're going to go ahead and do that now and bring everyone back in a bit. And again, you may have to click on the join button to enter the breakout rooms.